Okay, our second shape on polygons, area polygons. So we're going to do parallelograms, and we've talked about parallelograms first semester, I believe. All right. The formula you are going to use will actually work on a rectangle, which is also a parallelogram, a square, which is also a parallelogram, or any standard parallelogram. So all three of these will follow the same formula. By the way, rectangles and squares are parallelograms. You've been taught that. Okay, just quick review. Parallelograms, opposite sides, the arrows, they have the same arrows. That means those lines are parallel. So these have two arrows, this has two arrows, they're parallel, and they are equal. Okay, this has one arrow, it's an ugly arrow, but still an arrow. This has an arrow, so these two sides are equal, and they are parallel. Just like a triangle, the height and the base form a 90-degree angle all the time. So those are the two dimensions you're going to use, the height and the base. You need to find the area, you need to multiply the base times the height. Or you also see area equals BH. Two letters together, you're multiplying automatically. So you're multiplying the base and the height. You have to be able to identify the base, you have to be able to identify the height, and multiply that to figure out the entire area of the parallelogram. Alright, so number one. You're given three different dimensions, three different numbers representing various sides. Again, back in the day, you learned that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel and they are equal. So this side is also 8 yards. Okay, opposite sides are equal and parallel. So this side is also 10 yards, the entire length. Alright, so I gave you three different numbers, so you have to be able to identify the two parts that you need. Again, you need base and you need height. The base is the bottom, and the height makes a 90-degree angle with the base. Alright, so this is your base, and this is your height. You do not care about the 8. You're using the 5 and the 10. Alright, so area equals base times height. Just plug in your numbers. The base is 10, multiplied with the height is 5. That makes, on your calculator or in your head, 50 yards squared, because if you're multiplying two things to figure out area, you square it. That is your area of this entire shape. Alright, number two. You're probably saying this is a rectangle. Well, a rectangle is a square. It's got 90-degree angles. Or not a square, a rectangle is a parallelogram. So that's a rectangle. And these are the two sides that you have to know to figure out the area. Probably learned it length times width, but we're just going to stay consistent by saying base times height, because a rectangle is a parallelogram. So this is your base, makes a 90-degree angle with the height. Alright, so area equals base times height. 8 is the base, 4 is the height. That makes 32 inches squared. Don't forget your square root. There you go. That's all you got to do on parallelograms.